Is the United States about to get a few states smaller? Let's talk about it on Azimuth Podcast. I'm your host, Barrett McNabb. So a Democrat state senator is proposing two things. One, that New York should stop paying federal income tax to the United States government. And two, that she should take New York State and a bunch of other northeastern states and become a province of Canada. Let's take a look.
Radical ideas to counter the Trump administration appear to be gaining traction among some Democrats. One New York state senator is even floating the idea of having New York withhold federal taxes and then the Empire State seceding to join Canada. Senior correspondent Eric Shawn is live with more. There's about as much chance of that as a pink unicorn leading the Thanksgiving Day parade tomorrow.
Hello, John. Good morning. Well, it's a defiant plan against President-elect Trump's mass deportation plan. Secede and join our neighbor to the north. That is exactly what Manhattan Liberal Democrat State Senator Liz Krueger is proposing, that the Empire State and fellow blue northeastern states leave the U.S. and join Canada to protest Trump's plan. She said this back in September before the election, quote, "Instead of us all trying to illegally cross the border at night without them noticing, which is pretty hard because there's lots of us, that they should instead agree to let us be the Southeast province, a new province of Canada. New York, Connecticut, Massachusetts, Vermont would combine and be a great new province as the Southeast province of Canada. Basically, everybody in these states are progressive Democrats who would fit in pretty well with the political philosophy of at least most of the Canadian elected officials." Well, in a new interview with Politico, State Senator Krueger, who chairs the powerful State Senate Finance Committee, also says that her state and the others should stop sending tax money to the federal government as part of their protest. New York State's controller says that the Empire State sends more than $361 billion a year, or provides 6.5% of the whole federal budget. But incoming Trump border czar Tom Homan says nothing will stop them.
So those people who say they're going to stop us from what they're doing, they will not. I'm going to do this job. Men and women of ICE are going to do this job. You're not going to stop us. But let me give you a word of advice. If you impede us, there's going to be consequences. You cannot help us.
Well, I talked to State Senator Krueger's office this morning to request an interview, but so far, John, we have not heard back. Back to you.
I might be mistaken, but the amount of money that New York State sends to the federal government is about the totality of Canada's budget, I think. Eric, thank you so much.
So, wow. Here we go. So this Democrat senator, state senator, you just want to make sure, so a senator within the state of New York, not one of their federal senators that go to Washington, D.C., is talking about seceding from the United States. Now, on the by and the initial gut reaction, good riddance, right? New York State and some of those wacky northeastern states, if they left the United States, it would all but guarantee the rest of the United States would be a completely red country. Colorado would just have to take it right on the chin. California would have to take it on the chin. Oregon and Washington State, they would be taking it on the chin as well. And so who knows what would happen if that. But there has been a civil war already in the United States, and states attempted to secede. And Abraham Lincoln said, look, you can't do that. We're going to fight the Civil War. The secessionist states lost, were brought back into the fold, and it has been decided that there is no way that states can leave the United States. So for her to talk about this, it rings of treason that she is talking about seceding, which is illegal for a state to do, but she's trying to do that. So that leads to me, why isn't she being investigated as a seditionist from the Biden Justice Department? But still, this is absolutely absurd. And it just reeks of the women screaming into Lake Michigan, lamenting that Donald Trump won and beat Kamala Harris in the 2024 election. This Trump derangement syndrome has just got to go. Now, one of the things that she's talking about is she's protesting the fact that we are going to have a lot, more enforcement of existing immigration laws. Remember, there are already immigration laws that are on the books. We are just not enforcing them. The Biden-Harris administration is being negligent, and they are choosing not to enforce the laws. With the appointment of the border czar coming up, the ICE agents are already much happier. They've gotten speeches. They've gotten on TikTok, and they are so excited to be allowed to do their job in accordance with the law again. Because again, Mayorkas has been really not following the law. He got so close to being impeached and removed from office because he is really betraying the United States in favor of illegal immigration and illegal migrants coming into the United States. And so what we're going to see is a enforcement of the existing laws, as well as the putting executive orders and executive actions back in place, similar to the Trump administration previously, the remain in Mexico, the continuation of building the border wall. But this state senator is really upset that ICE agents and immigration agents are going to be doing these mass deportations. Now, kind of along the same lines, the mayor of Denver has said that Denver is a sanctuary city, and that he's not going to let his police officers assist ICE. And you just heard Holman. If you don't assist us, that's fine, but if you impede us, then there's going to be consequences. He's already said that if the mayor tells the police officers to specifically impede ICE agents from doing their job, he's going to arrest the mayor of Denver. And the mayor of Denver said, hey, fine, go ahead and arrest me, but it's all fun and games until that actually happens. So it's that F around and find out. And the mayor of Denver is about to find out, as well as this state senator. So this is absolutely absurd. I want to know what you think in the comments. Should New York State secede from the United States? 2 questions. Should New York secede from the United States? And then question number 2 is, can New York secede from the United States? I want to know the answer to both of those questions, and if some of you are legal scholars, put the case law in there too. I'd love to see that. So I saw this. This is just absolutely absurd. This week has and the week prior has just been filled with Trump derangement syndromes, and hopefully you are finding this as humorous as I am. So thanks so much for tuning into Azimuth Podcast, and please stay tuned after these messages.
Hi everyone. Thank you for listening. If you enjoy our show with all the stories we share, we would love your support.
And it's as easy as clicking that subscribe or follow button. This will ensure you never miss an episode and keeps us bringing you these important stories. Your support makes a huge difference. Thank you so much for being part of our podcast family.
Thanks, and keep tuning in.